Hey guys, stop whatever it is you're doing and go download the latest beta for the next Java or console aspects update in the description, whichever you prefer. They are a package deal though. If you download one, you might as well try both. This latest version is updated to 1.20, which I guess the last version was too, but this one has a bunch more features, which I will go through some of the new ones in this video. I previously made a video on this same update. All the features from there are going to be in this update as well. That means recipe unlock colors, old potion colors for console aspects, that sort of thing. But there's a whole lot more that I've been working on since then, so please join me as I walk you through some of the features, starting with, as usual, Java aspects. The very first one is just a fun little feature where if you equip a chest plate while wearing a cape, such as this miraculous Pretty Pride cape, it now adjusts to your armor position, so it no longer clips through the armor. That's actually a Java Edition feature. Villagers and zombie villagers have gotten a lot of love in this update, and we'll come back here during the console aspects section because there's something else to show you there. But for now, notice that the cartographer still has its visible headpiece from the biome, even though it's also got the monocle on. Normally, the cartographer is completely bald in all biomes on Bedrock Edition. This of course also applies to the zombie villagers, which now have biome-specific outfits, and trade level badges, which they do not normally have in Bedrock Edition. But if a villager who is leveled up to, say, Master, gets turned into a zombie, now you'll be able to see that on the zombie. Now let's cover some features from the latest version of Fixed Vanilla, which are absolutely amazing. There are more than just these features that I ported from Fixed Vanilla, but these are my absolute favorites. The first one, it's a little hard to tell, but previously in Java aspects, I made throwables smaller. But it turns out, throwables had a lot more differences than just being a little bit bigger on Bedrock, because on Java, they are also 3D. Now this is a little hard to show, but if I throw the potions up, you can kind of see that the side of the potion is now 3D. The same applies to all throwable objects. That means snowballs are now 3D, eggs, even such things as fireworks, which are even more difficult to see, but there you go. Fireworks are now 3D instead of little flat items that have no side dimension. Same for all thrown items. Here is a big one. These 5 items, anyone who has worked with Minecraft animations will know, are the worst 5 items because Minecraft uses a different system for them than every other item in the game. But as of this update, Late Lag of Fixed Vanilla fame has fixed all of them. Notice that when I attack with these, it makes an actual attack animation. Previously, it just kind of looked like you're bopping the trident onto the head of the enemy. Now you actually stab them with the prongs. The shield bonks forward instead of turning weirdly. The bow actually looks like a normal hitting animation. It's not perfect, and Late Lag told me he will be working on updating it more in the future, but the other animations, such as drawing the bow, blocking with the shield, loading the crossbow, holding the spyglass, and drawing the trident, are all more accurate than they ever have been in Java aspects. Console Edition even has its own unique crossbow animations, and those we will see when we switch to console aspects. You want to know something weird? Shields on Minecraft Bedrock actually use the old banner textures instead of the latest ones from Java Edition. They use the ones that were created all the way back when shields were first introduced. So now this update will fix it. The only major difference you can tell is that the border right around the edge of the shield is a little bit darker in updated textures than in programmer art. Of course, this also applies to the Illager banner shield, so you can get slightly dimmer eyes on your Illager shield. It's a very, very minor change, and I don't blame you for not being able to tell the difference. Here's a fun one. Every single UI slot now matches Java. For example, the die slot looks very different on Bedrock and Java. On Java, it's an easel, which is so much cooler. The brewing stand, of course, has the same sort of thing. If you noticed that the weights of the gray are very different between these two screens, don't worry, that's how it is on Java Edition too. It's just really weird. The screens are not consistent. Same for the llama here, which has a different transparency level of the carpet. And also, small change, but the llama now has a black background. Also applies to the horse and the donkey and the mule. I really like this one. Iron golems have finally received love. People have been begging me to update the Iron Golem animations for a long time, and I never really understood why, because I thought they matched. And then I actually played with it on Java versus Bedrock, and I realized, oh, these are very different actually, and people are right to be yelling at me. So I finally did it. I went and made them look composed, robotic, and very aggressive. they're a lot more imposing now because when they walk toward you, they don't kind of hustle, they don't start jiggling weirdly, they just go for you, throw you in the air, and do not care, which I think is the perfect quality in a robot bodyguard. And the last thing before we switch to console aspects, a whole bunch of block sounds have been changed on Java that were not changed to match on Bedrock. So let's hear them all. All of these blocks now have unique sounds that are not normally like that on Bedrock. So let's switch over to console aspects so we can go through the rest of the features. And we are back with console aspects. You can tell because everything looks a little bit lighter, a little less saturated, which is the console edition style. And let's go through the block sounds again to compare. So if you couldn't tell the difference between the previous Java version and this original Bedrock version, now you can just compare those two parts of the video. And could these please, cows, get out of my way. All right, I'm sure you've seen the giant TNT spike in the background by now, so it's time to finally find out what that's about. Because it turns out, TNT sounds still didn't match in Java aspects how they actually sound in Bedrock and console. And by the way, a lot of the features I've shown come to both packs. For example, the Iron Golem animations have come to both packs. The black background in the llama screen comes to both packs. The changes to all these weird items come to both packs. Just because I'm showing it in the Java or console aspects section doesn't mean it's locked to that pack. If it makes sense for Java aspects, it's going in Java aspects. If it makes sense for console aspects, it's going in console aspects. If it makes sense for both, it's going in both. And this is one such change. Listen to this beautiful explosion. Let's hope that didn't blow up any of my showcase area. I don't think it did, but the sounds are much deeper now, if you can tell the difference, and it sounds way more aggressive, especially with those cool particles. Oh, it did blow up my block showcase area. It's a good thing I did those sounds already. So I said I would go back and cover some of the other things that changed between console and Java aspects, so let's do that now. As you can see, the villager still has his headpiece, but the zombie villager is no longer a fisherman. And that's because on console edition, zombie villagers did not show their profession. So you can't really tell what they are before you convert them. They also didn't show a trade badge, which is why you can't see it. Now, interestingly, on console edition, the trade badges also used different levels. There was no stone badge. It went straight from iron to gold for 2 levels, and then it went the normal progression of emerald to diamond. Now, throwables actually aren't 3D on console edition. They're still 2D like Bedrock. However, their sizes are smaller than Bedrock. So now, once again, console aspects will match exactly how it looks. And I mentioned the crossbow is a little different in console aspects compared to Java aspects. Let's see that. Look at that. You see the arm when you're loading it instead. And if you equip a shield, you can actually see the shield and the crossbow at the same time, unlike in Java aspects. Now here's a fun one that I got from a commenter. I can't remember who it was, I'm sorry, I would totally say it if I remembered. But Evoker Fangs on console edition are absolutely gigantic, and I did test for this for myself to confirm it. I even tested to confirm my scale was accurate, and I'm prefacing this because you're gonna think they're way too big, but this is how they actually look. See that? Did you see that? Look at that. It's taller than the villagers, and yet that's how they actually look on Legacy for some reason. I don't know why 4J Studios did that. I don't know if it's a bug. It's kind of amazing because they're way scarier since they're so big, but that's recreated in console aspects now. A small one, but panda sounds. We're actually just missing a few sound files on Bedrock that exist on console and Java. The sounds were even set up to play them, so pandas were a lot quieter than they should have been. But now you can hear all the breathing sounds that were missing previously. And finally, the last major feature I want to highlight is turtle egg icons. Again, not that big, but the turtle egg is now 3D in your inventory instead of a 2D item. Of course, that is not the full changelog. The full changelog is available through a link in the description if you want to read it. There's a whole lot of details I never even talked about here because there's just so much in this update that I can't cover it, which is why you should go download the beta right now to try it out in your own world. Do you love Console Edition? Try out the beta. Do you love Java Edition? Try out that beta. And please, please send me all the bugs you find in the comment section of this video or on Mastodon to my account. I've switched there after Twitter is going a little crazy. I don't really trust Twitter as a platform, and I definitely wouldn't direct any of my younger viewers to it anymore. So please go to my Mastodon account if you want to basically tweet at me, because that is new Twitter. It's linked in the description. Anyway, thank you for watching this showcase of Bedrock, of Java and console aspects. I'm sorry, I mess up the versions. There are so many versions of Minecraft that I have to talk about now. All the additions, all the Bedrocks, all the Javas, all the consoles, and I have to deal with the parity between all of them. It's a lot. So please help me with some bug fixing. Download the packs in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.